Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Cassie here. We are back with another design video. We're at that step now where we already know who our users are, we have an idea of who our target audience is, and now we have to figure out who our competition is. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. This design series was pretty much created just so I can really document my design process. I just thought it would be fun to put it all on video. It could help out people that are potentially going through the same thing or that just need a little bit of motivation to like get through things. This is not like a how-to kind of video, but it's more like a documentation of what I'm doing in my design process. So if you're interested in watching these series, then don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's get to it. And so instead of doing a SWOT analysis, I learned from the internet that you could do something called a S.W.C.D.U.X.O analysis, which is pretty much a SWOT analysis but a little bit more refined. It stands for strengths, weaknesses, content, design, UX, and then opportunities. So that's the type of analysis we're going to be doing today. And what I did was I put it on a Google Sheet. I put the competition, the name of the competition, you link the URL if you want, and then here are all our different categories. The brands I decided to focus on is Yelp, Zomato, OpenTable, Google Maps, and UberEats. Okay, so the very first one we're looking at today is Yelp. This is the home screen. This is how it looks like right now. The first one is strength. So what does the site or app do really well overall? What are your first impressions like? You get multiple categories of services to browse through, a very quick and easily accessible map. So let me just show you. You go to restaurants, and then boom, right there you already have a map showing you all of the locations of where these restaurants are. And I noticed through even my user research, it's really important for people to know where the location of these restaurants are, and it really helps them in like figuring out what's the best place to eat and what their choices are. So I really like how Yelp immediately shows you the map, and then you can use this swipe up feature to go right ahead and see what each of those restaurants are. Search bar and current location is first in hierarchy, so you can see it's the first thing you see here, so that's really great. A lot of options here, not only for food but many other services. They show it right away, so you know that you can search for anything from burgers, delivery, barbers, anything. So the great thing that I also noticed is if you look at a restaurant and you're like, okay, I'm currently here, maybe I want to search more in this area, you can actually position your location on the map and then click redo search in this map area, and then bam, you get these updated locations. And I can go up here and then redo search in this area. So it's very visual, and it just makes it a lot easier for you to get a sense of where all those restaurants are versus putting in an address, which can be very ambiguous. So if you go into a restaurant, let me just pick a random one, like, I don't know, Katsu-san. You're able to immediately start a review. See right here, I can immediately go like, oh, and then boom, it automatically opens it up for you. You don't need to click anything else. You can start typing right away, blah, 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 blah. So that's what I really like about this. It's just very quick to use because remember, people are lazy. They want anything that will make their lives easier. If it brings them convenience, that is key. Okay, so weaknesses. What are some of the major gaps or flaws in the app overall? Any glaring weaknesses you can see off the bat? What I did notice is when you go into a restaurant, you have to scroll quite far down just to get to the actual review portion of it. I feel like there's just like a lot of stuff up here, and these are ads. I feel like it could be condensed a little bit more. It just feels like it's a lot of stuff before you actually get to the reviews. So up here you already have like view map, the website, the menu, but then down here you have the same thing, explore the menu, the website. I feel like they can take out this entire like info portion right here, like that's not really needed. Like this, I understand like the sponsored content, but it's just so big, it's kind of in the way. And then share this business, like this is also repeated because you can find these things on the top right hand corner right there beside the Katsu-san name. You can do share up here. So you can also save from up here, so you don't really need this entire chunk right here too. It just takes up a lot of extra space when it's already found somewhere else. Next, content. What's the voice and tone like? Does it fit the brand? Is the photography or video high quality and useful? I think it uses a pretty standard use of language and tone. It feels very professional, it's easy to understand. Images tend to be user generated. I like how they also like categorize the different types of photos that they have, which is really helpful for the user. Feels like a really good community-wide used app. So we're going to talk about the design. Visually, did they make good choices for the intended audience? Are icons done well? Illustrations on point? How's the overall typography stack? So for me, I think the color and the branding of this is quite standard. It's got a really bold picture right in the beginning, which really catches your eye. I love how you can immediately start scrolling through these different pictures, which makes it really easy without having to actually go that deep into the information yet. Colors are light, it's easy on the eyes, there's a lot of padding and spacing around. The font size is quite nice, I find. It's not too small, not too big, and the typography hierarchy, it feels balanced. So yeah, I'm very happy with the overall design of this. The section dividers for each area is also very clearly indicated by this like light gray strip right there, which I think keeps it very clean. It's important to make sure your icons always have type next to it, because sometimes icons can be very ambiguous and people don't know what it means. So it's great that every single icon here has text to support it. In terms of UX, app flows very well. Everything I need to find is easily locatable. Oh, I love these quick link options at the top, so I can easily call, view it on the map, see the website. It's a really great like user experience. Overall, I feel like the UX is quite smooth, it's seamless, it's quite easy to use. So I don't really have any complaints about Yelp. It's been around for a long time. So now, opportunities. What can we learn from the site or app? Is there anything we can be doing better or differently? Did they miss the mark somewhere we can capitalize on? I think the one area is this right here. Category at the very bottom, activity. I feel like it's just such a waste of categories down here, just because unless you are an active reviewer with friends, you're probably not going to use this majority of the time, so it could be better used to display other content. One thing I did notice using this app is sometimes when you're looking at a review, you're like I don't want to read this whole thing. I want to look for a specific dish, and so I want to search about it. And here you can see, oh, there's like all this stuff, that's great, but a lot of people don't realize that the search button is right here. So small that I didn't even know that for the longest time. I don't know why. I didn't notice it. Maybe it needs to be in bold. Having the search function be a little bit more visible, I think, is an opportunity that's missed here. Okay, next we're going to Zomato. Zomato is an app that primarily focuses on only food restaurants review. So let's see how it compares to Yelp. First thing you see is the search bar to find a restaurant you want to look for, as well as switching the location. You don't get a map right away, which I find to be a little bit of a missed opportunity. I really like being able to see a map right away when I'm looking for what's around me. You get these filters you can use, and then the big thing that really catches your eye is collections. So Zomato has quick action icons to allow for you to easily review, save, or share this restaurant. Let's click into a restaurant. Okay, yeah, so I like how it's also got quick links. You also have like a call button here too. Oh yes, okay, so the great thing about Zomato that I immediately noticed is this menu down here, these tabs down here. It says overview, menu, photos, and reviews. I really love this because bam, look how quick it is for me to switch between different things. I don't even need to scroll. All I have to do is tap, and then it immediately takes me there. I think this function that Zomato has come out with is a game changer and very, very, very helpful. It's interesting how it's sticky at the bottom too, because usually they have it embedded into the interface. I love this so much. It makes things so quick for me. I don't even need to scroll. I think this might be a personal preference, but I really don't like it when there's a sticky header on top and it just takes up too much space. For me, right now, this top part right here it's stuck to the top and it's taking up a lot of space, and the bottom here is also of course like a sticky category selector at the bottom. So now I only have this tiny amount of space in the middle to really like see the stuff I need to look for. I don't like it when the sticky header is so big. Yeah, you see how it turns smaller here? I kind of like how it's smaller, but I don't know, that's just a personal thing. Next is the content. When you're switching and trying to load certain screens, when it's taking too long, it has like a little bit of a fun did you know kind of thing, which is cute. Now we're going on to the design. So I like how smooth it is when you're transitioning from each tab. Do you see how smooth that is? Like it feels really nice. UX collections. Oh yes, collections is a genius way to share the top restaurants of certain places. Like you can see kick-ass burgers, late night restaurants, hidden gems. Like I love how it categorizes it in that way. It's easier to help users discover new restaurants by doing stuff like this. And I wonder who creates these and how often do they get updated. The opportunities, perhaps to just show the cuisine more upfront versus hiding it under the filters. When you're on the home page right now, you can't really just immediately have something say, oh, you want Japanese, Korean food, junk food. And in order to see that, you'd have to filter and then go to cuisine and then select what kind you want, like bubble tea for example, to help you find it. That's just a bit of a missed opportunity because I feel like it's not as engaging for the user to see it like this. It's not thought-provoking, there's no pictures, it just doesn't make me want to explore more. Next, we're switching it up a little bit. We're going to OpenTable, which is technically not an app to find restaurants, but more of an app to book restaurants. But the reason I wanted to show it is because they have a lot of menus on there. Good to get an understanding to see how other apps are designing the menus and how they showcase the menus. Let's start with the strength. So you can see it automatically knows it's lunchtime right now. These are some restaurants, that are currently available for lunch. I like how it already gives you those options, and you can see these are time slots that are currently available. Oh, they even gamified it a little bit. Looks like you can collect points on here. Now, going to the not so good things, the weaknesses. When you click search, you get to a page solely just for searching. Okay, yeah, see, this is another thing I don't like, but it might just be me. It's got this ginormous sticky header at the top that doesn't go away. But I like how in this one, it feels like I can see more restaurants without scrolling too far, which is kind of nice. And then you have this map function here. Okay. The coloring right now, like in terms of design wise, it's just very hard to see because this background is so dark, and then these panels are also so dark. And why are they all different sizes? Okay, let's go back to here. Filters. Okay, the filters comes in on the right hand side. That's also interesting because I'm used to it coming on the left. Right now, the contrast of seeing the difference between each section of content is difficult. Everything is just so dark. I thought this was like a dark mode thing I'm on, but I think that's just the app itself. And I wouldn't recommend honestly using a dark UI unless they're specifically using it in dark spaces. Like for example, I designed for this medical software company, and because most of the time their doctors are viewing the app or the website in a very dark room, so they would prefer the web app to be completely in dark mode so that when they turn it on, it doesn't immediately like sting their eyes. Font is a little bit small for me. Like the description font here for like Vietnamese, Richmond, whatever, it's a little bit small to read, not very legible. Everything feels a little bit cramped. I like it, but I hate it, if that makes sense. I like it because I get to see more restaurants in a smaller amount of scrolls, but then I hate it because I feel like I can't see things either because they're so small. If you gave this app to someone who's older and they're trying to use it, they're gonna be like, I can't see anything. They're gonna be trying to zoom in when they can't even zoom in. Think about your audience. If it's for young people, then okay, I guess make it smaller, but not ideal for accessibility. So when you go through here, you can immediately see pictures, which is nice. This whole thing is confusing to me. This UI, the separation of content, is a little jarring. You have like dividers that are a certain height, and then you have the content that's the same height which just has different coloring, so it's kind of hard to tell where's the content and where's the header. You probably want to find a menu the first thing when you're looking to pick or book a restaurant. I feel like the menu, which is right here, full menu, is a little bit hard to find just because it doesn't look visually different from all of this content up here. Once I click into menu, okay. Alright, so that's how they do the menu. Interesting. It's not bad, but it's just very... everything just feels heavy and tight and not visually appealing. Like, I just don't feel like going through all this stuff just because there's no pictures to kind of pull me in, and everything's really dark. Okay, so those are the weaknesses I find. Content, professional but lighthearted. Images seem to be really nice. Like, if you look at these images, a lot of them feel more curated as well. Like, you can see, like, these images all look very, very professional rather than community generated. And then opportunities, I wrote option to turn on and off the dark mode would be preferable. This type of UI is just hard on the eyes. This next app is the app that is the most similar to the app I'm proposing on designing. The app is called Sirved. This is how it looks like on the homepage. You get discover, contribute, and your profile. Current location is automatically set. So some strengths that I found immediately with this is that it automatically categorizes all of the possible things you could want to eat. So you see it goes takeout and delivery, which is very popular right now. Cravings, okay, are you craving burgers, pizza, taco? Those are things people crave, and I think it's awesome that they already categorize it into menus that have these items. You can go by cuisine, go by explore, patios, walking, short drive, dietary needs, vegetarian, organic. Like, I love all this. Time, budget, what's open now, dollar amounts, fast food. Menu type is for kids, for lunch, for dessert. This is amazing. I love this so much. So it automatically gives you all these filters rather than showing you all of the restaurant storefront. Now to the not so good things, the weaknesses. If I click on, let's go for, what do we feel like? Let's go for Mexican food. Once you click on it, you get a list. It's loading right now. Loading. There we go, okay. Ooh, Taco Louie, no. Taco Del Mar, no. Little Mexico Cantina, okay, that sounds good. You can already pan through pictures, that's super great. So I wrote that the menus are not optimized for mobile viewing. A lot of them are pinch and zoom. So yeah, that's a very common thing. We also see that in Yelp. And loading takes quite a while too. I don't know what it is with this app. This is the menu for Little Mexico Cantina. As you can see, you have to really zoom in to see what you're reading. And reading like this is not ideal. It's good for the restaurant because they can just take a picture of their menu and submit it into this app. Not so great for the users because not the best experience. But I like how it categorizes into different parts of the menu. We go to photos, which is up here. It's just like a bucket of images, but I can't tell which image refers to what food item. So this top thing is like a quick link, which I don't hate it, but I also don't like the way it looks. It feels a little random. It doesn't feel super inviting. Content feels like the standard one. The restaurant thumbnail isn't the best quality, so you can see the thumbnail here for this restaurant. It doesn't look very inviting. It doesn't look very delicious. Oh, I have to wait again. Okay, this is a serious problem. If your app is taking this long to load, no one's gonna want to use it. If you go to the review page, they pull in reviews from a bunch of different apps as well. You have Foursquare, Yelp, Yellow Pages. So that's kind of cool because you get to see the overall rating from multiple places. And then you get the text rating that comes from Google. I feel like you can click into these reviews too, but you can't click into them. You can only see the star reviews from those other apps. So if you go to the menu, you can see there's a category at the bottom called recommendations. And I really like this because usually if I'm in the mood for a certain type of cuisine or whatever, it's great how right in the menu it'll also recommend similar things to the restaurant you're already looking at that are close to you. And then you can also find just in general restaurants that are near this place. So this is Google Maps right here. First thing I automatically notice that I love is you can literally type anything into the search bar. Japanese restaurants, and it already looks for all these different things for you. And then it has the same functionality that Yelp has, which is why I think they're both so successful, is you immediately get a map to help you locate where all these places are. I'm able to do that really quickly, and then I'm able to sift through all this content immediately, and then as well as pan through images and click on the menu right away. So it links me to the Google images of the menu, which is quite seamless. And I like how as you're scrolling up, you see how it pushes that filter bar up too, to like reduce the amount of noise on the screen. So that's a nice little interaction. Google Maps is overall really clear and concise. It has really large and clearly visible images. Typography hierarchy feels balanced. When I go here and I look at the menu, ooh, you see how it automatically shows me all the pictures for each of the items. I love this. Click on the reviews. You get these top used words like sashimi. I like how you can easily click on those, and then it automatically will keep on helping you find common searches that people have. I think my favorite part is this menu here. I think the only thing that's missing is that the menu items are missing the price of the dishes, which I think would be really, really helpful. Yeah, that'd be cool if the menu just looked like this, you know? Super helpful. This very last one I'm going to be reviewing is UberEats. I think it's good to look at this one as well just because of the menu. When you look at the menu, I love how you get a little picture of all the different categories. I think it really draws you in, keeps you interested. It doesn't overwhelm the user with too much info. Quick links at the top allow for easy movement through the menus. You see the pictures all look very professional too, which is nice. I like how the menu kind of just collapses like that. And then boom, you're right in the menu right now. There's a lot of quick links at the top. If I want to go to rolls, I immediately get transferred there. So reduce the amount of scrolling, makes things more convenient, allows you to get through the entire menu. And wow, this is a very extensive menu. Very, very extensive. It's great that you can scroll like this, but also the menu can be a little spread out, so I would kind of prefer like a top to bottom overview. The content, really good quality images, like all the images look really yummy. I wonder if they recommend to the restaurant owners of a specific style of picture they need to use, or if they have to approve it. Because you can see they all look very well curated. Yeah, the menus, I like how they all have a cohesive styling. So it's not jarring for you to go from menu to menu because they all have the same type of layout. So I like the search function. It's very easy to access. So you can see how everything is really smooth. Everything just feels really snappy. Honestly, I don't have a whole lot of things I need to say about UberEats. The main thing is just how I kind of like having a top to bottom view more. Yeah, see DoorDash, I like how it shows you the full menu. These are all the different categories: popular items, appetizers, Vietnamese subs, and you can immediately tell how many items are in each category, and then you click into it. So it's just a different experience. Okay, so now that I have a more deep understanding of what other apps are doing, I'm going to collect a bunch of pictures and just inspiration from other apps. And then I'm also going to do something called feature jamming, which is essentially this big mind map that I do. And I start putting down all the ideas I have, all the different types of features I could potentially use for this app, and then start kind of picking and choosing what I think is most suitable for my audience and what the goal of the app is. That's it for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!